As a person with spinal cord impairment, you can benefit in many ways from a healthy weight management program. You can lower your risk for premature death and the development of some forms of cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, respiratory illness, pressure sores, urinary tract infection, and urinary stones. Healthy eating and physical activity can help decrease feelings of anxiety, loneliness, and stress, while improving muscle strength, endurance, self-image, and your ability to fall asleep and to sleep well. Plus, it can help you better manage your muscle spasms, chronic pain, and bowel program. All of these benefits can help you live a longer, healthier life and improve your ability to accomplish everyday tasks. However, you have to be careful to follow a weight management program that is best for you. Most programs aren't designed for people with spinal cord impairment. Your nutritional needs and ability to exercise are not necessarily the same as people in the general population. For example, you put yourself at higher risk for kidney problems following diets low in carbohydrates and high in protein. If you don't exercise properly, you can add unwanted stress or strain to your muscles and joints, which can cause chronic pain. EatRight is one of the longest-running and most successful weight management programs in the country. It was developed in 1976 by a team of physicians, dietitians, and psychologists at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. The name EatRight comes from the basic principle that you'll follow in the upcoming weeks. Instead of counting calories and grams, you'll learn to adjust your eating habits to eat more foods from the right side of a food spectrum and less from the left side. EatRight is safe, nutritionally sound, and proven to work while meeting all of the weight control guidelines established by the National Institutes of Health. In 2003, the University of Alabama at Birmingham completed a 4-year study of a modified version of the EatRight program for people with spinal cord impairments. This new program includes the proven concepts of EatRight, but it was modified to meet the unique diet and exercise demands of individuals with spinal cord impairments who were overweight or obese.
I really appreciate the opportunity to have participated in the EatRight program. As a single adult who hates to cook, I often depend on the microwave for my evening meals. I've learned some great ideas on how to carefully choose the frozen meals I buy. The EatRight program has really motivated me to exercise regularly and to make better eating choices. I recently began working with a personal trainer to make better use of my time in the fitness center. At work, I usually end up with fast food takeout for a hurried lunch. I've learned how to make healthier choices and how to fight the mid-morning munchies.
This is the home-based EatRight Weight Management Program for people with spinal cord impairment. It is a guide to learning healthy behaviors that result in a safe and effective weight control program, which can also reduce medical risks and improve your quality of life. You have a workbook outlining the proven methods of EatRight. This video series is intended to help you through the workbook and show you the essential aspects of a healthy weight management program. This is intended to be a 12-week program. You're encouraged to go back and review past weeks as needed, but don't skip ahead in your workbook. Take 1 week at a time. Begin each week by watching the video lesson, then review each week's section in your workbook. At the end of each section, you'll be given an action plan for you to accomplish during the week. As you learn different weight management skills from week to week, you can incorporate that knowledge into your daily life. To be successful, you should approach this program with a willingness to change your lifestyle. If you think it's time to take action, you should start by completing the weight loss readiness test found in the Start Right section of your workbook. This test will help you determine if you're ready to participate in this program. It may not be a good time for you to participate in a weight loss program if you score a 4 or below. If your score is between 5 and 7, you may need to re-evaluate your reasons for wanting to lose weight. A score of 8 or higher is a sign that you have good reasons to lose weight, so you're probably ready to make a commitment. Be sure to read the test information after you have your scores to help you understand some common misconceptions that often prevent successful weight loss. If you're ready to lose weight, your second action is to talk to your doctor. This is very important before changing or modifying your diet and exercise regimens. This program is designed for people with spinal cord impairment, which includes people with spinal cord injury, disease, or dysfunction. Most everyone has individual health concerns. For example, people with diabetes or women who are pregnant need to follow a strict diet and exercise program. Your doctor will make suggestions on managing your unique concerns. Your third action is to complete the personal progress sheet found in the Start Right section of your workbook. It's very important that you find out how much you weigh. Once you know your weight, you should write it down. You should measure your waist size too. You can wrap a tape measure around your waist and record your waist size on your personal progress sheet. Or you can use a string to measure your waist. Your doctor may provide you with other information, such as your blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Plus, you and your doctor can use your height and weight to determine your body mass index. We will discuss in later weeks how all of these other numbers are used to chart your progress toward improved overall health. Your fourth action for week 1 is to start eating more foods from the right side of a food spectrum. Try to eat at least one extra fruit or vegetable each day. You might eat an apple instead of potato chips as a snack, and it's up to you as to how you want to adjust your meals. If you have any problems, you should always contact your doctor immediately. Your fifth action is to record all of your eating habits for the week. Your Week 1 daily food journal is in the Start Right section of your workbook. At the end of each day, write down what you had to eat. Write down what you think were the portion sizes for the food you ate. And write down what times you ate. Use your own judgment in types of foods you eat and how much you eat. Be as descriptive as possible. Was the food grilled or fried? What did you drink? Did you add ketchup, sugar, or sauce? You can also record your mood. Were you happy, sad, angry, or afraid? Did you eat when you were hungry or not? You can write down what you've been doing. Were you at work, at a party, or at a ball game? Your final action is to review the additional information found in the Start Right section of your workbook. Each week, your workbook will contain helpful suggestions to maximize the lessons outlined in this video series. You will also find helpful tips each day on the Daily Food Journal page. Good luck with this week's assignment. It's a good idea to start this week's lesson with an explanation of the 2 basic principles of the Eat Right program. Caloric density refers to the ranking of foods by calories per weight. For example, there are roughly the same number of calories in a tablespoon of mayonnaise and a 3-ounce chicken breast. If you weighed the 2 foods using a scale, the chicken would clearly weigh more than the mayonnaise. You may not know it, but caloric density is important because you tend to eat about the same weight of food each day. Let's say it takes about 1 pound of food for you to feel full. A pound of chicken has a lower caloric density, or simply fewer calories per ounce, than a pound of regular mayonnaise, which is one reason why chicken is a much healthier choice to eat. However, you don't have to worry about counting calories if you follow the Eat Right principle of time-calorie displacement. This principle takes advantage of foods with lower caloric density. Look at the time-calorie displacement color food spectrum in the Choose Right section of your workbook. Foods to the far left side of the food spectrum have limited nutritional value. Those values improve as you move from left to right on the food spectrum. The EatRight concept of time-calorie displacement is simple. You eat less high-calorie foods with limited nutritional value that take a short time to eat, and you eat more foods with greater nutritional value, have fewer calories, and take longer to eat. You might better understand how this principle works across the food spectrum by again comparing the tablespoon of mayonnaise with a 3-ounce chicken breast. The mayonnaise is in the fat group. The chicken is in the meat and dairy group. Both have about 100 calories, but the chicken has a little more bulk, which takes longer to eat than the mayonnaise. Now compare the mayonnaise, chicken, and a potato, which is in the starch group. Each has about 100 calories, but it takes a little longer to eat the potato than the chicken. 2 apples have about 100 calories, but the fruit will take even longer to eat than the potato. 5 cups of salad contain roughly 100 calories, but the vegetable takes the longest to eat of any of these foods. You can see that it's easier to fill up on the foods from the green side of the food spectrum without overloading on the calories. Although you may still need 1 pound of food with each meal to feel full, you get greater nutritional value for your overall good health by eating more fruits and vegetables, while also getting fewer calories to help you lose weight. As a person with spinal cord impairment, you need a delicate balance of nutrients for the best possible health. For example, protein is important for skin care. Fiber is important to bowel management. Too much or too little protein, fiber, and other vital nutrients can contribute to problems. You actually need nutrients along with the entire food spectrum to maintain your overall health. However, 2 keys to actually losing weight are what and how much you eat, which are the strengths of time-calorie displacement. Now that you can choose right on the food spectrum, it's time for you to choose the specific weight management program that you wish to follow. You have 2 choices. Program A allows you to eat about 1,500 calories per day. This program is best suited for people with smaller body frames. Program B allows you about 1,800 calories per day. Program B is for most men or people who are involved in regular physical activities. If you're not sure which program is right for you, you should ask your doctor. Each program is outlined more clearly in the Choose Right section of your workbook. As you can see, these programs recommend the number of servings you should eat per day in each food group, which include vegetables, fruits, starches, meats and dairy, and fats. When you're choosing your weight management program, remember that it's only a guide to what and how much food you should eat in order to lose weight. Because foods on the green side of the spectrum take much longer to eat and leave you feeling full without overloading on calories, you can eat as much from the fruit and vegetable groups as you want with both programs A and B, unless you have diabetes. In the Choose Right section of your workbook, you'll find a listing of various foods for all 5 food groups. Look at the list of vegetables in your workbook. Program A suggests that you eat at least 5 servings of vegetables per day. Program B suggests that you eat at least 6 servings per day. Understanding proper serving sizes is one of the most essential parts of your program. It's very important to measure or weigh your food to get a true idea of what equals a serving size. You can measure serving sizes of most vegetables using measuring cups. You will also notice in your workbook that the food lists are divided into preferred and occasional foods. Preferred foods usually offer more bulk and take longer to eat than occasional foods, so it's recommended that you eat mostly from the preferred food list in each food group. The occasional foods give you added choices, but you should limit your choice of occasional foods to 1 serving in each food group per day because they're usually higher in calories, sodium, or fat. In the vegetable food group, fresh, frozen, and no salt added canned vegetables are preferred, while regular canned vegetables, vegetable juices, and pickled vegetables should be eaten occasionally. When you're choosing foods from the fruit list, Fresh and unsweetened frozen fruits are preferred, while juices, canned, and dried fruits should be eaten occasionally. For this group, Program A suggests that you eat at least 4 servings of fruit per day. Program B suggests that you eat at least 5 servings per day. You can measure serving sizes using a measuring cup or according to the size of the fruit. For example, a cup of blueberries is 1 serving. A whole apple, banana, peach, pear, and orange are considered 1 serving. Starches are the third food group. Preferred starches include foods such as whole grains, oats, and brown rice. Occasional starches include foods such as muffins, pancakes, and crackers. You should also note that there are some vegetables that are actually considered starches, including foods such as beans, peas, corn, pumpkin, squash, and potatoes. Program A suggests that you can eat exactly 6 servings of starches per day. Program B suggests that you eat exactly 8 servings per day. You can measure most starches using a measuring cup. Vegetables, fruits, and starches are also your best natural sources for fiber. It's recommended that you get between 20 to 35 grams of fiber each day. However, you'll need to gradually change your fiber intake because a sudden increase or decrease in fiber can result in irregularities in your bowel program. If you begin having problems with your bowel program, call your doctor immediately for advice. The meat and dairy group includes all meats, fish and seafood, cheeses, and soy products. This food group is your best source of protein. Program A suggests that you eat no more than 4 servings of meats and dairy products per day. Program B suggests that you eat no more than 5 servings per day. Be sure to eat only 1 serving per day from the occasional food list. Serving sizes for meat, fish, and poultry can be done using a small kitchen scale to weigh the foods. Otherwise, pay close attention to the weight given on the food label. You might also remember that 3 ounces of meat or fish is about the size of a deck of cards. An ounce of cheese is about the size of your thumb. There are other options if you're a vegetarian or simply want to limit meats, but you still need a quality source for protein. You'll need to substitute at least a cup of beans, peas, or lentils for 1 serving of meat to help make up for the loss of protein. You might also consider low-fat dairy products and eggs for added protein intake. The fat group includes foods such as nuts, salad dressing, peanut butter, bacon, and even alcoholic beverages. Program A suggests that you eat no more than 4 servings of fats per day. Program B suggests that you eat no more than 5 servings per day. Again, pay close attention to the preferred and occasional foods and serving size. EatRight also acknowledges that there are times when you want to treat yourself to something special. Special occasion foods such as potato chips, cake, cookies, donuts, pie, and ice cream don't fall into a particular food group. In your workbook, you'll see a list of special occasion foods. EatRight suggests a limit of 2 treats per week and a limit of 200 calories for each treat.
EatRight has a lot of information to learn, but I think that choosing the right foods is the foundation of a good weight loss program. I used to eat a lot of meat and starches. I never realized how much I was eating, and I wasn't making healthy choices on what I was eating. Now I'm eating much more fruits and vegetables. I'm eating chicken, fish, low-fat meat. I'm making healthier food choices, and I feel great.
Your beverage choice can be as important as your food choices. As a person with spinal cord injury, your preferred drink should be water unless you have to limit your fluid intake due to a medical condition such as congestive heart failure. Water has no calories and will help you reduce your risk for developing urinary tract infections, bladder and kidney stone, and pressure sores. You will find a water checklist on your daily food journal for this week. Make a check for each time you drink 8 ounces of water. It's recommended that you have at least 64 ounces per day, which means you need at least 8 cups per day. Most of your liquids should be consumed in the morning and afternoon to help minimize concerns with bladder management during the evening and at night. If you're physically active, you will need to drink more water or other sports drinks. You'll need to minimize drinks with alcohol, sugar, and caffeine because they have a dehydrating effect on the body. You need to also pay close attention to your meal times. Your body works best on a regular schedule. Ideally, you should eat something about every 3 to 4 hours and each meal at around the same time every day whenever possible. You can help balance your eating schedule with mid-morning and mid-afternoon snacks. A healthy snack can be a serving of fruit that you need as part of your daily program. If you're a diabetic, you might eat a serving of fruit before bedtime to help prevent a drop in sugar levels during the night. In addition, it's not a good idea to regularly skip meals. A lot of people wrongly assume that they can skip one meal and eat a little extra the next meal. The aim is usually to lose weight by not eating as much as usual. Remember, you tend to eat about the same weight in food each day. If you skip a meal, you are likely to eat more food later. Plus, your body needs a healthy combination of nutrients, so you're likely missing important nutrients when you miss a meal. If you have to skip an occasional meal, it's important to be prepared to make healthy food choices when you get hungry later. Now that you're ready to choose right, it's time for your Week 2 action plan. First, look back on last week's daily food journals. How did you do in placing foods in the proper food groups? Did you eat enough fruits and vegetables? Did you eat more than the recommended number of servings from the fat, starch, and meat and dairy groups? Were your portion sizes too large or too small? Did you eat 3 meals per day at about the same time each day? As you're reviewing what you ate last week, take notes on how you can improve your food choices based on what you learned this week. Your second action is to review the additional information found in the Choose Right section of your workbook. Read over the preferred and occasional food lists for each food group and get to know the proper serving sizes for all your favorite foods. There is a lot of information, so it may take you a few weeks to really understand everything. You can read your workbook and replay this video as often as you need. Once you've reviewed your workbook, your third action is to follow your new weight management program as best you can and improve on your food choices from last week. Remember, you can probably eat as much fruits and vegetables as you want with both Program A and B. But Program A suggests only 6 servings of starches and no more than 4 fats and 4 meat and dairy servings per day. Program B suggests only 8 servings of starches and no more than 5 fats and 5 meat and dairy servings per day. Don't forget to record what and how much you eat in your daily food journal. You can total the number of servings for each food group at the end of the day to see if you're following your food program. Then you can adjust your meals to better follow your program and improve on your variety of food choices. If you're having problems balancing your meals, there are sample menus outlined for 7 days in the Choose Right section of your workbook. Your final action is to keep a daily food journal as you did last week, but you'll need to now keep track of preferred and occasional foods. If you're having problems, you can look at the sample food journal in your workbook. This is to give you ideas of what you might include in a meal and how to balance out foods from all of the food groups during the day. You can follow this sample and create your own meal combinations. Good luck with your Week 2 assignments. People often make the mistake of waiting until they're hungry before deciding on what to eat. When there's a rush to eat, there's a tendency to pay less attention to food choices and portion sizes. On the other hand, people who have a good meal plan tend to make healthier food choices, have lower stress levels, and save time and money. This week's lesson builds upon what you learned last week using the color food spectrum and your food journal. Now it's time to learn how to use the food spectrum to best plan what you want to eat ahead of time. In the Plan Right section of your workbook, you'll find your meal planner, which you can use to plan each meal well before you eat. You start by setting aside some time each week to plan your meals. Pick a day that is your least stressful and when you'll have plenty of time to think without distractions. If you plan your meals immediately before you grocery shop, you'll have an idea of what foods you'll need to buy. If you shop for groceries every 2 days, you might plan your meals 2 days at a time. If you shop for groceries weekly, you might plan your meals every week. You can plan for as many days as you need between your grocery shopping. Before you actually write anything in your meal planner, think about how your meals can best fit your lifestyle. How much time do you have to prepare meals? Are you able to do all of your own food preparation, or do you rely on someone to assist you? What days do you want to eat at home or away from home? Are you planning meals for yourself or your family? How often do you pick up food to bring home? What is your food budget? How much variety of foods do you want? What are your favorite foods or recipes? Food preferences are about taste. Everyone has foods they like and dislike. Obviously, you have more choices in your weight management program if you like a wide variety of foods. If you don't have a variety of tastes, you can set a goal to try a new fruit or vegetable each week. You may prefer to eat ready-made meals that simply cook in the microwave. These meals may cost a bit more than foods that need to be prepared, but they're usually less expensive than eating out in a restaurant. Plus, healthy ready-made meals may also help to lower stress and give you more time to do other activities. You want to choose nutritious foods that fit your weight management program, but at the same time, you want to choose foods that you like to eat. Generally, the more you enjoy food, the less you really need to feel satisfied. Even with the best planning skills, there will always be days when you're short on time or simply too tired to follow your meal plan. Therefore, it's important to keep some convenience foods in the pantry to be used for quick meals. Low-calorie frozen dinners are a quick and easy meal at home or in the office. You might also keep on hand canned tomato products, beans, vegetables, fruits, soups, tuna, and crackers. At first, it may seem like a big task to plan out all of your meals at one time. After a few weeks, however, you'll find a menu planning method that works for you.
Planning has always been difficult for me. I used to buy what was on sale and try to work it into what I had on hand. I like to make fast meals or prepare meals in steps, but fresh vegetables used to take so long to prepare that I just felt like giving up. I now cook with prepared fresh vegetables. Stir-frying is easier using the new frozen dinner packages. I never would have thought to use them until we discussed it in class.
Let's see how you do with this week's action plan. First, think back on last week's lesson and the color food spectrum. Remember, you can eat as many fruits and vegetables as you want with both programs A and B, unless you have diabetes. But Program A suggests only 6 servings of starches and no more than 4 fats and 4 meat and dairy servings per day. Program B suggests only 8 servings of starches and no more than 5 fats and 5 meat and dairy servings per day. Plus, review your food journal from last week and take notes on where you can improve your program. Circle any meal that you enjoyed so that you can include it in future meal plans. Your second action is to schedule some quiet time and write your meal plans for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack times. As you write in your planner, look for ways to improve on your variety of food choices. Think about ways you can include additional fruits and vegetables as healthy snacks. You might consider theme meals with Mexican, Italian, Chinese, or other ethnic foods. You can be as creative as you like. Remember, your meal plan is to help you stay on track but you can be flexible. You may have leftover food or takeout on a day you plan to cook. It's all right to change your plans as long as you follow your weight management program and proper food portion sizes. If you're having problems completing your meal plans, you can find a sample meal plan in the Plan Right section of your workbook. You can use it as is or make substitutions as needed. You may want to rotate some of your meals on a regular basis. If you like the combination of spinach with chicken and pineapple slices, for example, you might like to have the meal once or twice per week. Once you've completed your meal plans, you can make a shopping list of your food choices. Go to the grocery and pick up the items on your list. As you eat your meals and snacks each day, it's recommended that you continue to keep your daily food journal. Write down what you actually eat, even if it's different from your plan. Again, there's a lot of information, so it may take you some time to get skillful at planning your meals. You can read past sections of your workbook and replay this video as often as you need, and you can always find other tips on meal planning in your workbook. Good luck with your assignments. You know how to choose the right foods and plan your meals. Now you're ready to shop. You may not have noticed before, but most all groceries have a similar layout. In general, you can find most all of the healthiest food choices around the outside perimeter of the store. There you can shop for fresh produce, lean meats, seafood, chicken, low-fat dairy items, and whole grain breads and cereals. Those foods from the inside aisles are usually not as healthy. This week, you're going to learn shopping tips from Suzanne Henson, who is a registered dietitian and coordinator for the EatRight program. Suzanne is going to help you make the healthier food choices, starting with fruits and vegetables.
Make healthy eating easy on yourself, okay? Think about if time is a major factor for you and you always look for convenience foods. If that's the case, then products such as pre-cut fruits and vegetables are one of the best things that you can do to make sure that you have healthy foods on hand when you need them, okay? Many individuals think that they don't want to spend a few extra pennies for pre-cut fruits or vegetables, but it will save you in the long run. Because think about in the past, maybe you purchased whole fruits, whole vegetables, put them in the refrigerator, but never got around to cutting them up and preparing them. So this will save you money in the long run, and it'll also ensure that you have healthy foods on hand when you need it, okay? And look not only for pre-cut fruits, but also pre-cut vegetables, which would be easy to steam or microwave, for example, or just to keep on hand for quick snacks. Another great thing that you can take advantage of, food manufacturers have made healthy eating much easier because they've prepared fruits that are already cut up, ready to go. For example, you can now purchase apples already cut into wedges, okay? Or you can purchase cups of fruits that are already cut up and ready to go. Those fruits that are packed in a light syrup, you just want to drain that syrup off and rinse it lightly, and then you'll rinse off any extra sugar that you're getting with the product. And one of the greatest things that you can take advantage of are bagged pre-washed greens. They're ready to go, ready to use in a salad for a quick weeknight meal. Or you can even take, for example, a bag of spinach that's pre-washed, saute it and put it on top of a pizza or mix it in with pasta to add some vegetables to your dinner, okay? So take advantage of these products. Other great things, you can purchase shredded lettuce. This would be great to top tacos or burritos with, okay? Wonderful on flour tortillas as well as in a salad. And also, you have wonderful mixes and already pre-cut, ready to go broccoli, cauliflower, great to just steam or microwave for a quick weeknight meal.
That's just raw broccoli, right?
Right, this is raw, and so that you could either eat it raw with a light dip, or you could put it in the microwave or steam it, and it'd be great to add into your dinner or your lunches, okay? Also, in addition to shredded lettuce, you can purchase shredded coleslaw. And this is great not only for a healthy coleslaw, but also to even top sandwiches with. It's a great way to work in vegetables on top of a sandwich. A little bit different than just plain old lettuce. Okay? Try to branch out and try some different fruits, different vegetables. And that way you add a little bit of variety into your diet, okay? One of the favorite things, one of my favorite things are portobello mushrooms. Okay? Now these are baby portobellos, which are smaller portobello mushrooms. This is an example of a mature portobello mushroom, okay? And one of the great things about this vegetable is that it naturally has a meaty texture and flavor, and so they're wonderful to add into your diet. Some other wonderful additions to your diet: zucchini and summer squash, okay? These are great for quick meals because all you have to do is slice them up. You don't have to peel anything, just cut off the top, slice them up, and they're ready to go. Wonderful to saute and very quick cooking. Some other great things that you can keep on hand are tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes are wonderful to add to meals, add to frozen entrees, other convenience foods, also to snack on. Look for grape tomatoes in the grocery store. They're smaller than a cherry tomato. Cherry tomatoes are what you usually see in a salad bar, okay? But grape tomatoes are slightly smaller, and they're great to keep on hand for snacks because you can eat them, just rinse them a little bit, and you can eat them up, just almost straight out of the box, okay? So great to keep at work, keep around the house whenever you need a snack, and you can just pop these into your mouth, okay? Wonderful to snack on. Some other great types of fresh tomato products to try. Roma tomatoes, for example, have fewer seeds than the larger tomatoes, and so they're great just to keep on hand, and you can add them to flour tortillas, to tacos, also to your frozen entrees. And it's an easy way to add in some quick vegetable. Tomato products, we just looked at fresh tomatoes, but canned tomato products are also fantastic to keep on hand. They're really easy to add into frozen entrees, to add into quick weeknight meals, such as a quick pasta dinner, for example. And you can use your favorite brand of tomato products or use the store brand.
You can't really go wrong with fresh fruits and vegetables. Plain frozen vegetables are also great. You can make canned fruits and vegetables with little or no salt and sugars added as your second choice, and canned fruits and vegetables that contain preservatives last. Remember, fruits make a great snack choice too. You can always buy common fruits such as apples, oranges, and bananas, but you may want to try different types of fruit that are in season to give you more variety. Suzanne will now offer some important shopping tips for making healthier choices for starches and grains.
Other foods that you can keep on hand for healthy, nutritious meals are canned beans, okay? They're a lot faster than the dried variety, and they're easy to use when you're in a hurry, okay? Now, you can use red beans, you could use black beans, put them in a flour tortilla, top them on that shredded lettuce that we looked at in the produce department. All you have to do is, when you open the can, simply rinse and drain the beans, and you're rinsing off the excess starch. Now, what you want to look for in canned vegetables, either choose those vegetables that say no salt added. For example, here are several varieties of corn that say no salt added, and this ensures that you're not getting excess sodium. But if you purchase, for example, corn or other vegetables that are packed in a salt solution, all you have to do is simply rinse that corn and drain it, and you're rinsing off about 20 to 30% of the excess sodium, okay? Another great new vegetable that you can try, which is actually a starchy vegetable, okay? A lot of potatoes are an example of a vegetable that a lot of people think is a true vegetable, but it's actually more like a starch, and you'll see that on your Choose Right plan, okay? But I like to encourage people to try Yukon Gold potatoes. They have a very thin brown skin, which you can leave on. You don't have to peel that, and so that way you get additional fiber. They have a natural buttery texture, and so that way, and flavor, so that way you don't have to add extra butter or cream to your mashed potatoes. Now, what do you look for when you purchase bread?
I look for wheat.
Okay, well, you need to look for whole wheat, because there are a lot of products on the market that say wheat, and they can be nothing more than white bread with a little caramel coloring added, okay? Let's compare a couple of varieties. For example, here's a product that says natural whole grain goodness. It's a wheat bread, but How much fiber does it have per slice?
1 gram.
1 gram, right, okay. That's a little low, so let's look for another product. Here's a variety that says 100% whole wheat, and this should be a better choice. Okay. How much fiber does this product have per slice?
3 grams.
3 grams, right, and that's your target. As we discussed in your ShopRite section, 3 grams of fiber per slice is what we're looking for in breads. So this is a great choice. Now, remember, one thing that's important for people with spinal cord impairment to keep in mind is that they need adequate fiber. And one of the best places that you can get adequate fiber is in your cereal choice. Let's take a look at a couple of brands, okay? For example, how much fiber is found in this particular product?
1 gram.
Right. And what about in this product?
13 grams.
Right. Big difference.
Yes.
What you're looking for is a cereal that has at least 5 grams of fiber per serving, and that's going to be the best choice.
As you can see, the bulk of your fiber intake comes from eating starches and whole grain foods. You can add variety to your food choices by trying cracked wheat, amaranth, quinoa, brown rice, barley, couscous, and different varieties of potatoes.
Do you eat seafood much?
Yes.
Okay. How do you prepare it at home?
But I don't prepare it because it just takes too long.
Okay. Well, the next time that you're shopping, okay, and you're buying seafood, ask the seafood monger in your grocery seafood department if he or she will steam your fish for you, okay? You can typically get shrimp, salmon steamed while you're shopping, and that way the fish is already cooked when you're ready to go home and dinner's done.
That does make it easy.
Right, makes it much easier. And remember, the American Heart Association recommends that you eat at least 2 servings of fish a week. And 2 servings is about, 1 serving would typically be just about the size of the palm of your hand, okay? So try to work it in about twice a week, and that will ensure your heart's health. There's some other things you can look for in the meats department at your grocery store, okay? For example, you can now purchase pre-cooked, ready-to-use chicken breast, okay? Here are some examples of cubed and sliced chicken breast that are already seasoned, ready to add to your favorite recipe. Now, typically, those products that are ready to use tend to have a little bit more sodium, so just like when we talked about canned tomatoes, you just want to balance out the sodium in a recipe by watching the other ingredients that you're using, okay? Also, you can look for foods such as barbecue. In the past, a lot of individuals who wanted to control their weight thought foods such as barbecue would be off limits or something you wouldn't want to do very frequently, but now you can look for lean pork, lean meat, and white meat chicken barbecue in your grocery store. A lot of people are confused about how to buy red meat, what to look for in terms of a lean cut of red meat. Do you know really what to look for in buying red meats?
No, that's one thing I wanted to learn.
Okay. What you look for when you're purchasing red meats is to look at the amount of fat that is contained in the meat product, okay? For example, let's compare 2 cuts of red meat. Okay? Here is an eye of round roast, and here is a chuck roast, okay? Can you tell a difference in these two products?
The weight.
Right. The weight, number one, I mean, we've got more meat here, but look at all the white in this meat. This is called marbling, and this is the amount of fat that's in the meat, okay? So what you want to look for are cuts of red meat that don't contain as much marbling, therefore they don't contain as much fat, and these are going to be leaner to use in your cooking.
I see.
Okay. Now, if you do have foods like this chuck roast on hand that contain more fat, which is evidenced by the marbling, what you can do is once you've cooked this roast, you can put it in the refrigerator, let it chill. The fat will rise to the top and it will harden, and you can simply skim that cooked fat off. And therefore, you've cut back on the amount of fat in the product.
When you're shopping for meats, pay close attention to the fat content. You want cuts of meat that average about 3 grams of fat per ounce or less. Look for meats with loin or round in the name, such as beef tenderloin, ground sirloin, pork loin, top round steak, round tip roast, and eye of round. These cuts will usually be labeled 90% fat-free by weight or higher. Most fresh fish, shrimp, lobster, crab, and other seafood have similar nutritional values. You can always find reduced fat dairy products such as milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, or cream cheese. Purchase the brands that you like as long as you eat the proper portion sizes.
We're going to talk about what to look for on a food product, but I'll tell you, in January of 2006, food manufacturers are going to be required to label products that contain trans fatty acids or hydrogenated fats, okay? So in January 2006, that's going to be mandatory, but currently there are some food manufacturers who are already going ahead and putting some things on the label that let you know it's a healthy product. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. For example, here is a product that says non-hydrogenated on the label.
And it says no trans fatty acids.
Right, so you know that this is a great product. Okay, let's compare two products from the same manufacturer. Now these are both the same size, so you would expect them to be pretty similar, but let's look at the differences. How many grams of carbohydrate does this product contain?
28 grams.
28 grams. What about this product?
17 grams.
17 grams. Okay, these are the same size, so where would the difference come in? This one is a variety that's labeled as fruit on the bottom, okay? Really what you're getting here, rather than fruit, is a fruit preserves mixture, which is added sugar. And the added sugar is where you see the difference in total carbohydrate, as well as the difference in the calories. Let's take a look at that also. How many calories does this product contain?
150.
150 for this one container. What about this product?
90.
90 calories, okay. There you see the difference in the added sugar in this product. So that's one thing that you want to watch out for when you're purchasing yogurts.
Comparing the nutrition facts labels of similar products is another way to make the better choice for your weight management program. The food label tells you the serving size and the number of calories per serving, which are essential for making healthy food choices. In general, it's best to buy foods lower in cholesterol, sugar, and sodium. Plus, you want to buy food higher in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats and lower in saturated and trans fats, which you'll learn more about in later weeks. Now that you have some healthy tips on how to shop for groceries, it's time for this week's action plan. First, review your daily food journals and meal plans for last week. Make sure to note all your changes in your meal plans. You can mark your favorite meal plans and consider ways to improve on your variety of food choices. Your second action is to schedule some quiet time and write your daily meal plans for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack times. Remember, you can look back in your workbook at lessons from earlier weeks for helpful suggestions and tips. Your third action is to make a shopping list of foods according to your meal plans. You may want to list your food choices according to the layout of your favorite grocery. Your final action is to shop for the items on your list. Remember to stick to your list. You'll probably buy most of your foods on the perimeter of the store. When you need foods from the inner aisles, pay close attention to the food labels and make the healthiest possible choices. Good luck and have fun! Over the past few weeks, you've learned to choose the right foods, plan your daily meals, and shop for food. This week, you're going to learn to put everything together in CookRight. Did you know that most Americans prepare about 12 tried and true recipes over and over? By adding or substituting a few healthy ingredients in your favorite recipes, you can enjoy the tastes you love and make a big impact on your overall health. The first key to cooking right is reducing fat. People like to use fats in cooking and seasoning because it adds flavor. While some fats are healthier than others, all fats are high in calories. You can review the fat substitution chart in the CookRight section of your workbook for tips on adding flavor to your meals without adding fat. If your recipe calls for sautéing foods in oil or butter, for example, you can use several tablespoons of water, wine, flavored vinegar, or fruit juice. You can add bacon or ham flavor to foods by cooking with bacon bits or lean lunch meat slices of ham. You can add meat flavor to soups, casseroles, or vegetables by cooking with fat-free chicken, beef, or vegetable broth. Olive and canola oils are great for cooking. You might use cooking sprays or trans fat-free butter to cook meats and vegetables. Avoid frying foods, especially deep frying, because it adds calories to your food. Instead, you can bake, broil, grill, roast, steam, or sauté your foods. Meat is a major source of fat, so you can reduce your fat intake from meat by cooking lean cuts that are at least 90% fat-free. When preparing recipes requiring ground beef, you can use ground round or sirloin because they are the leanest varieties of ground meat. Before cooking, marinate less tender cuts of meat in something acidic, such as a fruit juice, and cook by stewing or braising. Use a rack or broiling pan when roasting meats and poultry to allow excess fats to drain away from meat. Baste meat with fat-free ingredients such as wine, vinegars, or fruit juice. There are also reduced fat options for recipes that call for dairy products. In general, there's a big gap in taste between completely fat-free and low-fat products. Fat-free dairy products aren't good for cooking, and most people prefer the taste of low-fat products over fat-free products. In fact, there seems to be only a small difference in taste between low-fat products and regular products. For example, low-fat cheese is a tasty choice. It's good for topping casseroles or pizzas. You can use sharp cheddar, Parmesan, or other strong flavor cheeses to reduce the amount that you need for good flavor. Low-fat cottage and ricotta cheeses are also delicious in recipes. Another healthy way to reduce fat in your daily food plan is by eating more fruits and vegetables and less meat and dairy dishes. Finely chopped vegetables can make a nice addition to soups, sauces, and casseroles. Pureed vegetables can be used as a sauce, soup, or to top a dish. Sautéed vegetables have a nice flavor as well. Fruits and vegetables are great on salads. Blended frozen bananas, strawberries, or raspberries make great smoothies. Finally, you can reduce fats by adding a variety of grains and starches to your recipes. Use whole grain breads, pitas, frozen waffles, and cereals. Try cracked wheat, amaranth, quinoa, brown rice, barley, or couscous instead of white rice or potatoes. A helpful tip when you're cooking at home is to remember the 1-2-3 meal plan. With this plan, your meal will include a meat or dairy choice, a starch choice, and a fruit or vegetable choice. As a choice of meat, for example, you might enjoy 3 ounces of diced chicken sautéed using canola oil. You can serve the chicken with a cup of boiled rice and a cup of carrots freshly steamed in the microwave. It's quick, easy, and you have a well-balanced 1-2-3 meal. While the microwave is great for steaming vegetables, you can prepare a lot of healthy meals using only a microwave. It cooks foods quickly without losing a lot of nutrients. You can find some great microwave recipes in the Cook Right section of your workbook. For example, you might like a microwave burrito recipe. You start with a ready-made tortilla, then you drain and rinse a can of black beans to reduce sodium. You add low-fat sharp cheddar cheese, and it only takes a few seconds to cook. You top everything off with lettuce and your favorite salsa. Now you can have a quick and tasty microwave meal in only a few minutes. This week's action plan is easy. First, review your daily food journals and meal plans for the last few weeks. By now, you probably have about 10 or 12 meals that you eat regularly. Review your journal to check if you're eating at regular times and are including the right balance of food groups according to your weight management program. Are you following your portion sizes and other areas of your program? If not, look for ways to improve your food choices. Once you've reviewed your progress, your second action is to create meal plans for this week. Use the 1-2-3 meal plan for some of your meals. You can repeat plans from past weeks, create new plans, or simply use the meal plans offered in your workbook. It's up to you. Your next action is to create your shopping list based on your meal plans. This time, you can think about putting items on your shopping list in order according to your grocery store layout. For example, you can put fruits and vegetables at the top of your grocery list if they are close to the store entrance. Items toward the exits of the store go last on your list. Your final action is to start reducing fats when you cook. Give your old favorite recipes a healthy makeover using what you learned this week. When you're cooking ready-to-eat microwave foods, be sure to prepare your food as the package directs. If you've planned and shopped right, you should have tasty meals that fit into your weight management program. Again, feel free to review this week and past weeks as needed. When you create great tasting dishes, write down your recipe so that you can use it again. Be creative and have fun. You've learned a lot of information over the last few weeks. Hopefully you've already lost weight and feel better about your overall health. If not, don't get discouraged. Some people lose weight quicker than others, and it can be very hard for people with spinal cord impairment to lose weight. Chances are, however, that you are healthier if you've been following your weight management program, even if you haven't lost weight. The aim of the Eat Right program is to help you develop and maintain healthy lifestyle habits. As you've already learned, food choices and food preparation are essential for improved health. This week's focus is on setting personal weight and management goals. Goals are important because they give you direction and purpose, so it's important to set reasonable goals to keep you on track to better health. To be successful in the Eat Right program, you need to think about setting both short and long-term goals. Short-term goals usually take no more than a couple of weeks to achieve, and long-term goals take longer to reach. For example, you probably did not learn in 1 week all the preferred foods, occasional foods, and recommended portion sizes for the 5 food groups on the color food spectrum. It's simply too much information. However, it is reasonable to learn 1 food group each week as a short-term goal, and a long-term goal might be to learn all of the food groups in 5 weeks. The same concept is true for weight loss. It's not reasonable to expect to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks unless you weigh at least 400 pounds. In fact, losing weight too quickly puts you at risk for health problems such as gallstones, electrolyte imbalance, and lean muscle loss. Instead, you'll need to set realistic short-term weight loss goals. For example, a person who is obese and weighs 250 pounds might be able to lose as much as 5 pounds after 1 week, which is about 2% of 250 pounds. A person who is overweight and weighs 200 pounds might be able to lose as much as 2 pounds in 1 week, which is about 1% of 200 pounds. As you continue to lose weight, the amount of weight that you can expect to lose each week will decline. In reality, it may take you 6 months or more to lose 20 pounds. Another measurable goal is your body mass index, or BMI. Your BMI describes your weight in relationship to your height. You can improve your health by lowering your BMI. Looking at the BMI table in the EatRight section of your workbook, find your height on the left side of the table. Then find the number on that row closest to your current weight. For example, a person 6 feet tall and weighing 199 pounds has a BMI of 27. If the same person weighs 243 pounds, the BMI would be about 33. A healthy BMI is between 19 and 25. A BMI ranging from 25 to 30 is considered overweight and a greater risk for health problems. If your BMI is greater than 30, you're considered obese and at a high risk for health problems. You can significantly improve your health by lowering your BMI if you are overweight or obese. Research shows that carrying extra fat around one's middle section can have a negative effect on one's health. Most everyone with spinal cord impairment has a loss of some or all use of their abdominal muscles. As a result, you will likely have extra fat in your midsection. However, you can still set a goal to reduce your waist size. It's easy to measure. You simply use a tape measure or string to mark your waist size. A healthy waist size for a man is below 40 inches and below 35 inches if you're a woman. Once you reach a comfortable size, you can work to maintain it. Again, you're not going to lower your BMI or reduce your waist size in a couple of weeks. It takes time to notice results in any of the measurements listed on your personal progress sheet in the EatRight section of your workbook. You will have weeks when you reach your goals and others when you don't. The important thing is that you move forward and look for progress. You will reach your goals if you keep working. Each time you reach a goal, you can celebrate success. Give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done and treat yourself to something fun. When you reach your goals, you'll need to reevaluate your situation. For example, you may reach your goal of losing 10 pounds and decide to simply work to maintain your weight. You may need to set a new goal. Again, it depends on what's comfortable for you.
EatRight has really helped me understand how to set realistic weight loss goals. Some people think that they have to lose 5 or 10 pounds in a week to be successful. That's hard to do, especially for someone with a spinal cord impairment. I know that losing 1 or 2 pounds per week is great, and it's a realistic goal for me.
It's time for this week's action plan. First, write down all the measurements that you can on your 6-week personal progress sheet found in the EatRight section of your workbook. This is the same progress report that you were asked to complete in the first week of the program. It's helpful to review your progress every 6 weeks to see if you've reached your short or long-term weight loss goals, so you'll do the same thing again in week 12. Your next action is to reevaluate your weight management program. If you've lost any weight at all, you are doing great. If not, you need to remember that weight loss can be hard. You might review your daily journal and compare your intake to your meal plans. You can correct any problems that you notice and continue to look for ways to improve your progress. If you are not losing weight while following Weight Management Program B, you might also consider switching to Program A. If you switch, however, you'll need to review your progress again in about 2 weeks. Your last action plan for this week is to reevaluate your weight loss goals. Is your goal to continue to lose weight, lower your BMI, or have a smaller waist size? You can set short and long-term goals. Remember, you want to set realistic goals that you believe you can reach and maintain over the long term. No matter what your goals, write down all of the information that you can. If you're having problems, go to the EatRight section of your workbook and read the information on setting goals and taking action. As always, you can review your previous lessons in Choose Right, Plan Right, Shop Right, and Cook Right. Don't forget to keep your daily food journal and meal plans. Good luck! Now that you've learned the importance of proper nutrition to weight management and improved health, it's time to learn about physical activity, which offers many of the same health benefits as proper nutrition. Physical activity is any bodily muscle movement that uses energy. When you increase your energy output, you burn calories quicker and lose fat while gaining muscle mass. People who participate in regular physical activity usually feel better, have more energy, and are healthier than people who don't. The problem is, persons with a disability are less likely than persons without disabilities to take part in physical activities. A lot of people with limited mobility assume they cannot participate in or benefit from physical activity. This is simply not true, and the United States Surgeon General emphasizes this fact in a report on the physical activity and health of people with disabilities. The report states, "The benefits of physical activity are similar for persons with and without a disability. Physical activity does not need to be strenuous to be beneficial, and persons with disabilities can get substantial health benefits from 20 to 30 minutes of moderate physical activity every other day." Moderate activities require some physical exertion, but a person should be able to comfortably carry on a conversation while doing the activity. No matter what your level of impairment, do not limit your physical activities solely based on the fact that you have limited mobility. There are many ways to get a moderate amount of physical activity. If you look in the Move Right section of your workbook, you'll find a physical activities list. The list shows some common activities that people do at different levels of impairment. Although some people require adaptive equipment to participate in some activities, they still enjoy themselves and gain improved health through participation. If you can think of an activity, you will likely find that people with disabilities are doing it. In fact, physical activity can be part of your everyday life. For example, you may have a job that keeps you physically active by regularly lifting or pushing. Even adding some routine activities around the house beyond what you're currently doing can go a long way in improving your overall health. You might have physically active hobbies, such as art, fishing, and hunting. You can even stay physically active by biking or pushing a wheelchair. There are many other activities that are available through local and national organizations and foundations. You can talk to other people in your area and search the internet to find out what is available, but organizations or foundations can be a valuable resource. They may offer outdoor activities, such as hunting, fishing, and shooting. They may offer a variety of opportunities to participate in fitness classes, seminars, and competitive athletics. If you like sports, wheelchair sports are a very popular way to improve your overall health. The number of sports offered to participants who are disabled has grown to rival that of sports offered to non-disabled athletes. You can participate in everything from traditional wheelchair basketball to power wheelchair soccer. In some cases, organizations and foundations will even provide the adaptive equipment that you need to participate. If you prefer exercise over competitive sports, it's recommended that you exercise at least 3 times per week. If you've been inactive, however, you should check with your doctor before you begin. It's also recommended that you warm up before you exercise. Warming up increases blood flow and oxygen levels in your muscles and fuels them for exercise. It also helps to prevent unnecessary injury. A proper warm-up begins with a few deep breaths and stretching of your arms overhead. As you start exercising, begin at a slow pace for 3 to 5 minutes. Gradually increase your intensity as your body warms up. If you haven't exercised in a while, you need to start with 5 to 10 minutes of light exercise every other day. As it becomes easier, each week you can increase the time and intensity of what you're doing until you reach at least 20 minutes of moderate exercise every other day. You can further improve health benefits with a more vigorous exercise regimen or by increasing the length of time or number of days that you spend exercising. Exercise can be difficult for many individuals with high levels of injury. The types of exercises that you can do are limited by your lack of mobility, but you do have options. In the Move Right section of your workbook, you'll find exercise suggestions for persons of all levels of impairment. You can exercise at home, or you can exercise in a facility if one is available in your area. You may be able to do some exercises by yourself, and you may need help with others. Breathing exercises can be done anywhere and offer great health benefits for some individuals with impairment between levels C1 and C4. You can start by doing a set of 4 breathing exercises. First, take a deep breath and hold it for 5 seconds before slowly breathing out. Second, take a deep breath as fast as you can, bringing in as much air as you can before pushing the air out as fast as you can. Third, take a deep breath and hold it. Take another breath and hold it. Take one more breath before slowly breathing out. Fourth, take a deep breath in, then breathe out, counting out loud as long and as fast as you can. You can do these twice in the morning and twice at night. This will help you keep your respiratory system strong. You can increase your lung capacity and lung expansion, which makes it easier to take deep breaths. Plus, you can decrease your risk for respiratory complications, such as pneumonia. You can also do neck and shoulder exercises to improve your strength and endurance. You can start by doing 10 shoulder shrugs in the morning and 10 at night. If you have someone to help, you can ask them to hold your head and shoulders to provide some light resistance to your movements. Range of motion is another possible exercise if you have help. When doing range of motion, it's recommended that your arms and legs be lifted higher than your heart. This elevation increases your heart rate because it takes more work to push blood flow against gravity. Thus, you benefit more from the activity. In addition to breathing and shoulder exercises, individuals with C5 and C6 levels of impairment have other options. Although you may require help with setup, you can do a lot on your own. For example, you can use elastic bands easily found at many local retailers to exercise your biceps. These bands have different levels of resistance, so you can start with bands that offer little resistance and slowly increase your resistance levels as you get stronger. If you don't have an elastic band, try using a towel with someone providing resistance. You can also exercise your shoulder muscles while you're sitting in your wheelchair. You can work the same muscles if you have access to exercise equipment. You can use a hand cycle and some equipment to strengthen shoulders and biceps. Again, you may need assistance with setup, and you may be able to use modified gloves to enhance your ability to use the equipment. If you have wrist movement, do range of motion exercises using light resistance. Individuals with impairment at levels C7 and C8 have many additional options. Using modified gloves, you should be able to easily exercise your shoulders, biceps, and triceps on exercise equipment. If you have good finger or thumb movement, you may be able to use the equipment without using gloves. This use can improve strength in your fingers and thumbs. If you do not have access to a gym, you can do similar exercises at home. For example, you might do prone push-ups from your wrists or elbows. You can use dumbbells with or without modified gloves, depending on your strength. You might also squeeze putty, grippers, or a small ball to add strength to your fingers and thumbs. You can probably exercise and do most forms of strengthening, stretching, and range of motion exercises without assistance from others. You also have the option of using free weights and various exercise equipment. If your impairment is at level T6 or below, you can benefit from strengthening your abdominal muscles. This may include lateral rotation and stomach crunches with or without resistance. Whether you use exercise equipment at a gym or at home, your focus should be kept on keeping your body strong and flexible. Of course, you can benefit from leg exercises if you have low-level paraplegia. For example, you may be able to do leg lifts with or without resistance, and you may be able to use some exercise equipment to build muscle and improve strength. If you have impairment in the lumbar or sacral area, you may use a wheelchair for primary mobility, but be able to walk short distances using a brace, walker, parallel bars, or a cane. However, it's a good idea to avoid walking any distance when you have to severely strain your upper body. Overuse can lead to severe muscle and joint damage.
I feel that my exercise program has helped me more than any other part of the EatRight program. Going to the gym and working out, I like using the arm bike because it gets my heart rate up. I felt better after working out. I'm losing weight and getting stronger. The people here make it all fun.
No matter what your level of impairment, you need to watch for danger signs. For example, your body may be very susceptible to temperature changes, which means it's easy for your body to become too hot or too cold. This places a great strain on the heart. You'll need to avoid exercising in cold or hot and humid environments. You are also more prone to repetitive strain injuries to your arms and shoulders. Therefore, it's recommended that you stop whatever you're doing if you experience any pain or discomfort. Most minor muscle or tendon problems will go away in a few days, so you should talk to your doctor for advice on treatment if you have an injury that doesn't go away after a few days of rest. In addition, you'll need to drink plenty of liquids to avoid dehydration. Water may be all you need for moderate activities, but with more vigorous activities, you'll need the added nutrients provided in sports drinks. Finally, keep a close watch on your weight. Physical activity is to help you replace fat with muscle. You may lose weight, gain weight, or stay the same. It will take time to see the results of your effort, but you will be healthier. On the other hand, you don't want to lose weight too quickly. You may need to slowly adjust your diet to give your body more energy. This means eating more foods, so remember, fruits and vegetables are great sources for energy without the high calories. It's now time for your weekly action plan. If you haven't already talked to your doctor about your participation in physical activity, you should first ask your doctor if it's all right for you to proceed. As your second action, review all of the information provided in the Move Right section of your workbook. Your third action is to ask yourself, what did I like to do before my impairment? Chances are that you will still enjoy it, so you might ask other people in your area or search the internet to find out if your favorite activities are available in your area. You can search for local and national organizations and foundations that offer recreational activities for persons with disabilities. Your fourth action is to set your goals to become more physically active. Again, you should always warm up. If you've been inactive, you can start with light activity and gradually increase the intensity of your activity and length of time that you spend exercising. Your goal should be to reach at least 20 minutes of moderate exercise every other day. Don't forget to record your physical activities each day in your daily food journal. As you make your plans for the week, you can plan those days that are good for you to exercise. Your final action is to simply have fun with whatever you do. If you're doing things that you enjoy, you're more likely to continue the activities over a long period of time. You might want to participate in activities that include your friends or allow you to meet new people. Good luck. You've already learned how to choose and plan the right foods to eat for your meals at home. This week, you're going to learn tips on applying those same concepts in dining out or picking up food on the go. Anytime you visit your favorite restaurants, you're probably faced with temptations. One trick to a healthy dining experience is simply avoiding those temptations. For example, you might plan your food choices before you arrive because many restaurants have their menu and nutritional information available on the internet. You're not tempted by food choices that don't fit into your weight management program. Many people are also tempted to visit family-style restaurants that feature a food buffet. However, people who eat from buffets usually pay little attention to portion sizes, so they often overeat. It's probably best to skip the buffet and order from the menu. You may have a choice of a variety of heart-healthy or light menu options. If not, you can ask questions about how foods are prepared, and you can ask for changes in the way food is prepared to help you maintain your weight management program. For example, you can request that meats or seafoods be grilled instead of fried. Ask to have your food prepared without butter or have sauces served on the side. Ask for a substitute item such as a vegetable in place of fries. Or you can ask the server not to bring items that you don't want to be tempted to eat. Even if you order from the menu, you'll need to be watchful of serving sizes. For example, a 6-ounce piece of fish, which might be served at a restaurant, is actually 2 portions. If possible, you might reduce your portion size by ordering an appetizer or lunch portion. You might split a main course with someone, or you can eat half and have the rest wrapped up to take home. Finally, you might think about your eating habits when you're at a family-style restaurant. You usually go to a restaurant to relax and socialize. You can cut down on your calories if you take your time eating and enjoy the company. Then you'll be less likely to overeat. Fast foods are quick and convenient. You can usually dine in or grab your food on the go. Much like family-style restaurants, however, some foods are healthier than others no matter what your favorite fast food eatery. Therefore, it's important for you to know how to lower the calories, cholesterol, fat, sugar, and salt in fast food meals. Although the average fast food meal contains about 1,200 calories, you need to keep your meal approximately 500 calories and fewer than 20 grams of fat. You can reduce calories by avoiding gravy, bacon, excess cheese, sausage, salad dressings, and foods prepared with butter. Plus, you don't want to upsize your meal. Instead, stick to what you know. Many fast food restaurants have made an effort to provide more healthy foods. Many even display the nutritional content of their products. If you don't see the nutritional information posted, ask for it. Then, you can make healthy food choices with fewer calories by choosing low-fat, low-calorie, and fat-free foods. Add flavor and bulk to your sandwich with lots of lettuce, tomatoes, sprouts, pickles, peppers, or onions. Choose grilled chicken, baked potato, or salad instead of hamburgers and fries. Again, you can decide on your food choices before you arrive, because most fast food eateries also have their menu and nutritional information available on the internet. Remember, you want to choose foods that fit into your weight management program. You also want to watch what you drink, no matter what restaurant you visit. You should avoid regular soft drinks, milkshakes, and drinks with alcohol because they're higher in calories. Of course, your best choice is water because it has no calories. Fruit juices may be somewhat high in calories but have more nutrients, especially when fresh squeezed. You might try 1% or fat-free milk, low-calorie soft drinks, or unsweetened tea or coffee. This week's first action plan is to review the Dine Right section of your workbook. Your workbook offers many of the do's and don'ts for following your weight management program when dining out. You can also draw from your experience with Choose Right and Plan Right. You can make the healthiest food choices when dining out, and you can decide on what you want to eat in advance by checking menu nutritional information found on the internet. Your second action is to continue to update your daily food journal with meals that you eat from restaurants, the same as the meals that you prepare at home. Good luck! Medical advances have greatly improved the life expectancy of persons with spinal cord impairment. Although you remain at risk for secondary medical complications associated with impairment, your average life expectancy is very near the general population. This week, you're going to close your workbook and get ready for 8 questions to test your knowledge on how your eating habits impact your overall health. Question 1. What is the #1 cause of death in the United States? And number 2, cause of death among persons with injury related to spinal cord impairment? Is the answer A, renal failure? Is it B, heart disease? Or is it C, pneumonia? Although pneumonia is currently the leading cause of death for persons with spinal cord injury, the answer is B, heart disease. The real surprise is that heart disease is preventable and not related to spinal cord impairments. Research shows that eating too much fat is a big factor in the development of heart disease, especially if overeating causes weight gain. Inactivity and the types of food eaten are other contributing factors. In addition, people who eat too much fat are likely to have high blood cholesterol, which is another major risk factor for heart disease. Question 2. Which cholesterol is actually good for your health? Is the answer A, LDL cholesterol? Is it B, HDL cholesterol? Or is it C, none of the above? The answer is B. High-density lipoproteins, or HDL cholesterol, are good for your body. HDL cholesterol actually slows down the buildup of cholesterol on arteries. On the other hand, low-density lipoproteins, or LDL cholesterol, increase your risk for heart disease because it sticks to the walls of your arteries and slowly reduces blood flow to the heart. Persons with spinal cord impairment usually have a lower healthy cholesterol level and higher unhealthy cholesterol level. The reason is partly due to how the impairment itself affects your body's metabolism, and it's partly due to the common decrease in activity levels. Therefore, you want to eat foods that will keep the low-density cholesterol low and the high-density cholesterol high. By simply following the EatRight Weight Management Program, you'll reduce your risk for developing heart disease by lowering blood cholesterol levels and help prevent cholesterol from sticking to arteries. This is because EatRight emphasizes eating plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which are naturally lower in fat and higher in fiber. The natural sources of fiber found in these foods are healthier than fiber supplements, such as popular pills or liquids. The EatRight program also stresses physical activity, which also lowers cholesterol. Question 3. Does your body need fat? Is the answer yes or is it no? The answer is yes. Your body needs fat, but you need to be aware of the amount and types of fat in your food choices. The American Heart Association recommends that no more than 30% of your total daily calories come from fats. Again, EatRight is designed so that you don't really have to count calories if you choose the right foods and eat the proper portion sizes. However, fat calories are often hidden in foods, so you may need to carefully read the nutrition facts label on food items. Question 4. What type of fats are healthiest? Is it A, polyunsaturated fats? Is the answer B, monounsaturated fats? Is it C, saturated fats? Or is it D, trans fats? Although all fats are high in calories and should be eaten sparingly, the answer is B. Monounsaturated fats are probably the healthiest. These fats are believed to reduce your risk for heart disease by lowering unhealthy LDL cholesterol levels. Monounsaturated fats also provide essential fatty acids for healthy skin and the development of body cells. And these fats may offer protection against certain types of cancers, like breast cancer and colon cancer. It's believed that polyunsaturated fats lower both good and bad cholesterols. The healthiest types of polyunsaturated fat are the omega-3 fatty acids. These come from fresh fish such as salmon, tuna, trout, and mackerel, which is why it's recommended that you eat fish once or twice per week. Another good source for polyunsaturated fats include vegetable oils made from soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, and olive. Saturated fats are unhealthy. They actually raise bad LDL cholesterol levels and increase your risk for heart disease. Foods that are particularly high in saturated fats include meats, dairy products, lard, palm and coconut oils. Trans fats are the unhealthiest of all fats. They raise bad cholesterol levels and lower good cholesterol levels. Trans fats may be found in foods such as vegetable shortening, some margarines, crackers, candies, baked goods, cookies, snack foods, fried foods, salad dressings, and many other processed foods. Some nutrition food labels may not list trans fats as an ingredient until the year 2006. However, if you see the words fully or partially hydrogenated or shortening on the ingredient list, the food contains trans fats and should be avoided. Question 5. As a person with spinal cord impairment, proper nutrition affects what areas of your daily health? Is the answer A, bowel management, B, skin care, C, urinary system, or is it D, all of the above? The answer is D, all of the above. A high-fiber diet helps regulate your bowel program. A diet rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals helps reduce your risk for pressure sores and helps skin heal quicker. And fruits and vegetables naturally contain water, which helps reduce your risk for urinary tract infections and urinary stones. Question 6. Do persons who use a wheelchair need to worry about healthy bones? Is the answer yes, or is it no? The answer is yes. There is a rapid loss of bone minerals within the first 2 years of a traumatic spinal cord injury, which leaves bones less dense and more brittle. Plus, people who use a wheelchair tend to be less active, which contributes to added bone loss. Women are likely to experience additional bone loss during menopause. Anyone experiencing excess bone loss is at risk for developing osteoporosis, which is a condition of excess mineral loss that results in brittle bones. Osteoporosis can limit function and affect posture. Calcium is an essential nutrient for healthy bones. It was once believed that persons with spinal cord impairment should limit calcium intake to prevent urinary stones or heterotopic ossification, which is a condition of abnormal bone development. Research now indicates, however, that the recommended daily intake of about 1,000 milligrams of calcium is not harmful. Good sources of calcium include low-fat dairy products, such as milk, cheese, and yogurt. Other recommendations for preventing bone loss include regular physical activities, such as resistance exercises. You can take a multivitamin containing vitamin D and get at least 10 or 15 minutes in the sun each day, and you can stop smoking and limit your alcohol intake because both speed up bone loss. Question 7. What element commonly found in foods actually raises blood pressure and causes the body to retain fluid? Is the answer A, potassium, B, sodium, C, magnesium, or is it D, calcium? The answer is B, sodium. Even if your blood pressure is normal, you'll do your heart a favor by cutting down on sodium. An easy way to reduce your sodium is to cut down on table salt. You can also choose foods with no more than 30% of daily recommended allowance for sodium listed on the nutrition facts label of food items. Smoked or cured meats, such as bacon, pig's feet, or sausages, are usually high in both fat and sodium and should be limited as a food choice. Question 8. Can a healthier lifestyle reduce your risk of developing some forms of cancer? Is the answer yes, or is it no? The answer is yes. Cancer is among the leading causes of death in the United States, and many cancers are associated with obesity and excessive food intake. It's believed that non-smokers who eat fruits, vegetables, and grains and exercise can reduce their risk for cancer by as much as 70%. It's time for this week's action plan. First, review all of the health information in the Live Right section of your workbook. Second, as you make your meal plans for upcoming weeks, find ways to increase your good HDL cholesterol level by increasing your intake of natural fibers along with polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats. At the same time, work on lowering your bad LDL cholesterol by reducing your intake of saturated fats and trans fats, and lower your sodium intake to help lower blood pressure. Once you've improved your diet, you can improve your health even more by getting regular exercise, sunlight, and quitting smoking. Continue using your daily food journal and evaluate how well you're doing with improving your food choices. Good luck and good health. Do you believe that learned personality traits can be unlearned? Chances are that you do because you've been working to change your eating and exercise habits over the past 9 weeks. Hopefully, you've seen positive results from your work. You may not know it, but the way that you think is a learned process that leads to your feelings and behaviors. Most everyone has a little voice in their head that they use to solve problems and accomplish tasks. This self-talk is based on personal beliefs learned through life experiences. Much of the time, self-talk leads to desired feelings and healthy behavior. However, thinking errors can lead to unwanted feelings and unhealthy behavior. This week's lesson is on improving your self-talk to give yourself a better chance to reach your weight management goals. You might avoid some unwanted feelings and unhealthy behaviors by identifying thinking errors such as unrealistic thoughts and false assumptions. Then you can work on methods to replace your thinking errors with realistic information. All or nothing thinking is a very common error. Do you use words like always, never, nobody, and everyone? These words are the foundation for self-defeating thoughts, such as I'll never lose weight, or nobody with spinal cord impairment can benefit from exercise. Eat Right is not an all or nothing process. Not everyone succeeds, but not everyone fails. There are people exactly like you who have lost weight as a result of healthy diet and regular exercise. Those who do succeed have realistic views such as, I can exercise and lose weight, but it takes time and hard work to reach my goals. Many people over-exaggerate something small into something big, or something big into something impossible. Two examples of over-exaggerated thinking are, I ate 1 cookie and gained 2 pounds, and I'll have to exercise every day next week because I was too busy to exercise this week. It's best that you keep your program in perspective. You might gain 2 pounds by eating many cookies every day, but not by eating 1 cookie. If you miss a week of exercise, you might exercise a little more the next week, as long as you don't have to add stress to your life trying to make up for mistakes. It's also all right to simply resume your old routine. Too often, people focus on negatives and ignore the positives. If you're thinking, it doesn't matter if I lost 1 pound this week because my goal was to lose 2 pounds, you aren't thinking about the big picture. Losing weight is hard work. A positive viewpoint is, it's great that I've lost weight this week, but I'm going to keep looking for ways to reach my goal. This response acknowledges that you've made progress despite not reaching your goal, and you're acting to correct any mistakes. Do you think things should or must be a certain way? For example, you might think, I should be losing weight faster, or I must follow the Eat Right program exactly if I'm to succeed. If you are, you're setting yourself up for stress and anger when things aren't as they should or must be. Instead, you might adjust your view to, I'd like to lose weight faster, and I don't have to be perfect to succeed. These views acknowledge your desires without being absolute. You might be frustrated when things don't go as planned, but it won't be a catastrophe. Predicting the future is almost impossible. Have you ever said, I failed at my last weight loss attempt, so I'll probably fail at this one too? Or, I'll surely blow my weight loss program when I'm away on vacation. No matter how much you plan for the future, you don't know for certain what the future holds. If you're planning to fail, however, chances are that you will find a way to fail. Of course, chances are that you'll also find ways to succeed if success is what you want. Many people are overly self-critical with thoughts similar to, I'm a bad person because I'm overweight, and I'm a failure because I didn't reach my goal. Such thoughts can lead to feelings of shame and worthlessness. Self-critical thoughts will almost always result in a loss of desire to improve your health. In other words, there's usually no motivation to improve yourself if you feel that you're not worth improving. Again, it's important to be realistic. You're neither a failure nor a bad person if you fail at tasks or your body isn't perfect. You're simply human, which means you're imperfect and capable of mistakes. Of course, you're also capable of success. You may have noticed that thoughts, feelings, and even events can trigger an urge for food when you're not actually hungry. For example, you might have a habit of eating when you feel sad or lonely. You might crave something to eat at a ball game or movie. You can avoid being caught off guard by urges if you recognize your triggers. Then you can develop a plan to deal with those urges and keep your program on track. In addition to your own thoughts, outside influences can impact your weight management program. Friends and family can be a wonderful source of reinforcement if you give them suggestions on ways they can support you. Ask them for words of encouragement as often as you need. Tell them specifically what they can do or say that would be most helpful. Ask for feedback, praise, and comments on changes they notice in you. A diet partner can be another source of support. A partner can be a friend, coworker, or family member. You can encourage each other while you work together. Ultimately, it's really up to you to take control of your weight and your lifestyle. With practice, you can recognize triggers and learn to ignore your desire to eat. You might even adopt more healthy ways of dealing with triggers. For example, you might exercise instead of eating when you're not hungry. You can also control your self-talk by identifying unrealistic thoughts and replacing them with facts. You can encourage your strengths and accept your faults. Then your thinking habits will be working for you, and you'll probably feel better about yourself and do a better job sticking with your healthy lifestyle. If you have difficulty with urges and triggers, it helps to follow a daily schedule for eating meals and snacks and have healthy snacks easily available. Most people can tell when they're hungry and need to eat. They are usually signals like hunger pain and weakness. If you keep a schedule, you'll know better if your body really needs food or if you simply want food for other reasons. When you're not able to follow a schedule, you can follow the Mealtime Hunger and Fullness Scale in the Think Right section of your workbook. This week's action plan starts with a review of the information on identifying common feelings in the Think Right section of your workbook. Once you review the material, you may have an easier time identifying feelings that you can help yourself avoid. Your second action is to start writing down your mood in your daily food journal. When you experience unwanted feelings, start taking notes on when your emotions change and the situation or event associated with your feelings. Then take time to reflect on your thoughts. What did you say to yourself that led to your feeling? Are you over-exaggerating, trying to predict the future, or using all or nothing thinking? Did you think something should, must, or ought to be a certain way? How might someone else respond to the same event or situation? Although you can't change your ways of thinking in one day or even 1 month, you can work to correct errors as you begin to notice them. Over time, you can help yourself through positive self-talk and a healthier view on life. Good luck. Last week, you learned to avoid potential setbacks in your weight management program by correcting thinking errors. This week, you're going to learn ways to avoid or reduce stress to reach a more relaxed state of being. Stress is a physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes tension in your body or mind. Managing stress is an important key to managing weight because your eating behaviors often change when you're under stress. In the Relax Right section of your workbook, you'll find a list of symptoms for stress. People who constantly experience symptoms of stress are often at higher risk for serious health problems, including illness, addiction, and depression. In addition, stress is one of the primary reasons that people fail to maintain their weight loss. There are many factors that can contribute to stress. As you learned last week, your own thoughts have a big impact on the stress that you feel. In addition, other people, job responsibilities, lifestyle, medical conditions, and relationships can contribute to stress. However, those same stressors can also bring you great joy. This fact makes it almost impossible to eliminate all of this stress in your life. So it's best to learn the skills to manage stress to be more comfortable and in control of your life. Not only do effective problem-solving skills reduce stress, but these skills are also useful in preventing secondary medical complications associated with spinal cord impairment. Solutions to problems may not be apparent at first glance, especially if a problem seems too big to solve. It may take careful thought to find a reasonable solution. The first step in problem solving is to identify the problem. Write down the problem and decide what bothers you most, and use this as your starting point. If it's a big problem, break it into smaller, more manageable parts. Then work on one part at a time. The second step is brainstorming. Write down as many solutions to your problem as you can that might resolve the problem or make it easier to manage. If you're having trouble figuring out a solution on your own, ask your friends or family for advice. Once you've made your list, look over your options and choose a solution that might work best. The third step is to try out your solution. If it works, give yourself a big pat on the back. If it doesn't solve your problem, look for hidden obstacles that might be causing problems. Then, review your list of solutions, make changes if necessary, and try another solution. You can repeat the process until you find the solution that works best. You can use problem-solving skills in almost all aspects of your life. In your weight management program, you can use problem-solving skills in your meal plans, cooking, shopping, exercise, and other areas. Self-care is another way to reduce stress. There are many things you can do to feel better emotionally and physically. A healthy balance of work and recreation can reduce stress and improve your quality of life. Of course, eating right and regular exercise can help you reduce stress. Other healthy behaviors include getting plenty of sleep, as well as cutting down on alcohol, caffeine, and tobacco. Even the simple act of hugging someone can be a great stress reliever. Relaxation can also reduce stress. How much time do you allow yourself to slow down and take it easy for a moment? This change in routine can help reduce a lot of the physical and emotional symptoms of stress. Some relaxing activities include reading an interesting book or magazine, going to the park or someplace quiet, going out with friends, spending time on a hobby or craft, and getting a massage. If you're interested in other helpful relaxation exercises, such as controlled breathing and imagery, you can probably find useful books at your local library. Another way to reduce stress is by keeping things organized. How do you feel when you can't find something that you need? How do you feel when you have to rush to complete a task at the last minute? If your time and priorities are organized, you can avoid the stress of looking for a lost item and rushing to do things at the last minute. Organize your home by keeping items in their places. For example, put your keys in the same place each time. Keep your clothes separated and plan what you're going to wear. Stock up on frequently used items such as toothpaste or paper towels. You can also organize your time and allow for rest and play periods. List all the things that you want to do. Sort your list with the most important items at the top of your list. Break large tasks into more manageable, smaller tasks. Start at the top of your list and accomplish the tasks one at a time. You're not as likely to be stressed if you don't have time to do the things at the bottom of your list. Finally, you can reduce stress by simply setting limits for yourself. You probably have a lot going on in your life, and you can cause yourself stress by trying to do too much. It's important to keep your activities at a manageable level and don't volunteer to take on activities when your schedule is full. For this week's action plan, continue recording your meals and snacks in your daily food journal and note your moods. You can also note any symptoms of stress. Once you've written everything down, you may notice patterns. Are your eating patterns tied to moods or emotions? Do you grab something to eat when you feel stressed? Your next action is to review all of the information in the Relax Right section of your workbook. Your third action is to start setting goals to reduce your stress using the methods outlined in your workbook. As you become more skilled at recognizing and managing stress, you may use different combinations to handle different situations. No matter what method you use, however, you need to take care of yourself. Your final action is to review your previous lessons and make sure that you're on pace to reach your goals. Remember, you need to continue to choose right, plan right, shop right, cook right, move right, and think right each week. Good luck! Congratulations! You're in the final week of the Eat Right program. Over the last 11 weeks, you've worked to develop a healthy lifestyle that includes enjoyable eating practices and regular physical activity. However, there comes a time when you reach your weight loss goals. Then you're faced with the transition from working to lose weight to maintaining your reduced weight. Since the first week, Eat Right has emphasized weight management as a lifestyle change. This makes it more than a simple number on a scale. It's about the satisfaction and enjoyment that you get from eating well and being active. If you're more satisfied with your body and enjoying your life, you're more likely to want to maintain your lifestyle over the long term. In week 2, you selected one of 2 weight management programs that you wish to follow to reach your weight loss goal. To refresh your memory, Program A allowed you to eat about 1,500 calories per day, and Program B allowed you about 1,800 calories per day. Many people fail to maintain their weight loss because they don't learn to properly balance their calories after they've reached their weight loss goal. For example, people who no longer wish to lose weight following an 1,800 calorie per day diet might suddenly switch to a 2,500 calorie per day diet once they reached their desired weight. This sudden increase in calories often results in weight gain. Granted, you will need to adjust your caloric balance when transitioning from weight loss to weight maintenance, but the best way to do this is to gradually increase your calorie intake. You can start by adding 1 serving of starch and meat or dairy to your daily meal plan for the upcoming week. If you're following Weight Management Program B, for example, you might eat exactly 9 servings of starches per day instead of 8, and eat no more than 6 servings of meat per day instead of 5. The addition of 1 serving in each group will increase your daily intake by more than 200 calories. If you continue to lose weight after a week, you can add another serving of starch to your daily meal plan for the next week to increase your daily intake by another 100 calories. When you add enough servings to reach a point when your weight is stable, you can stop adding servings and simply stick to your new meal plan. Once you adjust your calorie balance, the real key to long-term success is to stick to your routine. People who succeed with their weight management program don't suddenly stop everything they're doing all at once. Instead, most people slowly start to gain weight and gradually decrease their activities. Before long, they're back to their prior weight and lifestyle. Therefore, you will need to pay close attention to changes. Most people can easily recognize weight gain. Your clothes may start to fit more snugly, and you may notice that it's more difficult to do everyday tasks. If you notice that you're gaining weight, chances are that you've slowly slipped back into some of your old habits. You might also watch for more subtle changes. If your muscles are tense as opposed to relaxed, your body may be signaling a change. The same may be true if you're more tired as opposed to energetic. These are signs that you may be experiencing changes in your eating or activity habits. When you notice changes, you'll need to act early to correct your eating or exercise habits. You can start by reviewing the basics of your program that you learned in earlier weeks, which includes keeping a food journal and meal plans. Situations may arise, such as a change in your work schedule, vacation, travel, weather, or an illness that upsets your weight management routine. Don't worry, most routine-altering situations are temporary. In fact, occasional overeating is as much a part of normal eating as occasionally skipping a meal. If you overeat to the point of feeling stuffed at one meal, your next meal should be light. You miss a few days or even a week of exercise, but you'll need to resume your program as soon as you can. If you have time, you may want to put in a little extra time exercising when you return. If you can't increase the time you spend exercising, you might give yourself a few more intense workouts. Now it's time for your final action plan. It's week 12 and time to complete your personal progress sheet found in the Stay Right section of your workbook. This is the same report that you completed in weeks 1 and 6, so you can compare them to evaluate your progress. Are you reaching your short-term goals and staying on pace to reach long-term goals? Have you noticed improvements in how you feel? Are you less tense and more energetic? Once you've reviewed your progress report, you'll notice that you're at one of 3 places in your weight loss program. First, it may be that you've actually gained weight over the last 12 weeks. Weight gain may be a sign that you have a medical problem, so it's recommended that you talk to your doctor and get a thorough medical examination. Weight gain might also occur if you've been physically active and replacing fat with muscle, which means you have a healthier body. You may be gaining weight because you're not following the appropriate weight management program. Perhaps you simply need to follow Weight Management Program A instead of Program B. You may have also fallen into your old eating and exercise habits, which usually means weight gain. Either way, it's important to review this entire video series along with your workbook to see where you need to make adjustments in your eating and exercise habits to stop the weight gain. Your second option is that you still want to lose weight. Therefore, you continue to review each section in your workbook and set your goals and use the skills you've learned until you reach your goals. You will find additional copies of the Daily Food Journal and menu planners in the Extras section of your workbook. You can also make photocopies as needed. Your third option is that you've reached your weight loss goals. It's now time to celebrate your success with something special, such as a movie or a trip. Then use the skills that you've learned to maintain your healthier lifestyle. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you want to continue to maintain your improved health. Once you reach your desired weight, you need to allow yourself a little flexibility. If your goal is to maintain a weight of 150 pounds, you cannot expect to weigh exactly 150 pounds all the time. Ordinarily, you can expect to see slight differences in your weight from week to week. To be consistent with your weight over the next year, you need to stay within a range of about 4 pounds of your desired weight. If your goal is to weigh 150 pounds, for example, you might stay within a range of 148 and 152 pounds. Of course, you'll need to re-evaluate your long-term goals every few months. Your second action plan for this week is to complete and mail in the evaluation sheet found in the Stay Right section of your workbook. Your feedback is important to the future success of EatRight and vital in continuing to improve this weight management program for individuals with spinal cord impairment. As you continue to follow your EatRight Weight Management Program, your final action plan is to visit your doctor at least once per year because your body changes as you get older. You may experience other health concerns, which may mean you need to change or modify your weight management program. Plus, you and your doctor can continue to keep track of your weight, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. Good luck and good health.